Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Jeremy Scheib. Good morning.
Well, let's just get it over with.
What's
it's
that?
April 1st. It's April Fool's Day.
Oh, yes.
And I just don't know that there's any room for tricks in this room. So let's be serious and not be playing any silly April Fool's jokes today.
Okay. I'm not much of a trickster. I got way too much going on to plan any tricks on April Fools anyway.
It's amazing, though, when you think about it, how many people, bite on it knowing it's April 1st, but don't think of it as April Fool's Day. I've had it done before, and you're just going about your business. Mm-hmm. But if you have it done after noon, if somebody gets to you with an April Fool's joke after dinner, according to this article, then you're kind of the fool. If you don't figure it out by dinner time, then...
Yeah, they got to get you bright and early in the morning before you completely figure it out.
Yeah. So every year since 1986, somebody issues a press release for the annual New York City's April Fool's Day Parade. For instance, they've been doing that, which, of course, doesn't exist. In 1996, you might remember that Taco Bell ran a full-page ad in several major newspapers claiming it had purchased the Liberty Bell and was renaming it the Taco Liberty Bell, which was not true.
Good free publicity. Well, not free, but good publicity.
Yeah. Some companies try to do that. I don't know whether it's a PR or getting press, but there's been some big companies do some things like that on this April Fool's Day, so we'll see what happens. It's also National 1 Cent Day. The American penny debuted back in 1787 and was designed by Benjamin Franklin.
I dislike pennies, personally.
A lot of people do. Now,
start at a nickel.
Well, that's what Canada does. Canada changed over in 2013, got rid of their penny, and they just round their bills to the nearest nickel, as you just mentioned.
A lot of the time, it's all rounded to the nearest nickel or more anyway. The only time you get a penny is when you get your change back.
Yeah, but if you don't have the penny, Jeremy, I'll take the other side just for argument's sake.
Okay.
Then you don't have the little dish at the counter where...
Or you slowly acquire them?
No, if you go to a restaurant, they'll have a dish there with pennies in them, and if you don't have a penny, they'll grab one and pay the penny for you. Or you can leave a penny if you don't want to carry the pennies with you. It's just kind of a little sharing bowl of pennies. That would go away.
I almost kind of feel like that helps my argument more than yours.
Why?
Leave a penny, take a penny shouldn't need to exist. It's so pointless.
What's a friendly thing?
I think that pennies are kind of pointless, but I also think that more places, and I know that tax rates change all the time and things like that, but if I was going to start a business like a restaurant or something like that, I would do one where tax figures are figured into the price of items.
Well,
so the price on the menu doesn't reflect the price of taxes. It'd be a sticky situation to pull off. But if you were getting a burger and your tax was, let's say, 25 cents, on the menu it says $4.75, and then when you go up and pay your bill, it's $5 even. You give a $5 bill and you're good to go. I don't understand why. I mean, otherwise you put $4.99 on the menu because your humans' minds subconsciously think, oh, $4.99, that's under $5. That's a good price for a burger. And then you get up and you add tax on. It's $4.23, and then you're juggling pennies and things like that, and off you go with those. I never start. Do you start the day with change in your pocket, or do you just acquire it through the day? I know there's two different types of people in the world. Do you put change in your pocket to start the day?
No.
Yeah, me either.
I have my wife and I have a big pitcher, bowl and pitcher in the bathroom, and we just throw our loose change in there, and then someday we take it in and That's kind of fun. Take it in and see how much money you have in the bowl.
Yeah.
So I think you're taking a, I understand what you're saying, but it's kind of this, the restaurant doesn't want to include the tax because they want that burger to be under $5.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is a great deal for $29.99.
Yeah, or 3 easy payments of $29.99.
Exactly.
In 5-point font next to it.
Yeah, that's how it's marketing.
Yeah.
It's a frame of mind. You see that all the time in pricing. And everybody knows the trick.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that it's $3.99 is going to be over $4 when you pay for it because of the tax, but it's still under $4 when you buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're close to $4 when they sell it.
I think you could play off that, though, in certain industries. The no-change restaurant or something. I don't know.
Well, right now we're going to keep the penny because Benjamin Franklin's a pretty famous guy. And, it's changed so much because you used to have penny candy. You used to be able to go in with 5 cents and buy
Can you buy
candy.
anything with a penny anymore? Just a penny?
Well, if you accumulate, 100 of them, you got $1.
You got to accumulate them. Well,
100 pennies make $1.
There's not anything in the world that you can buy for just a singular penny anymore, is there?
No.
Or even 4 pennies before you go to a nickel. I don't even think you can buy anything.
I don't know if there's
Just
nickel
a
candy.
nickel. I don't know if there's anything for a nickel anymore.
You used to be able to buy a nickel candy and penny candy.
There used to be a arcade. It's not open anymore in Omaha. And it was open as recently as, I don't know, maybe 5-10 years ago. It was called Nickel a Play. And you go in and spend $5 and they give you a bag of nickels. And all of the arcade games cost a nickel. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's what they do in casinos. But, they have the nickel machines for people who really like to sit there all night and not lose
Or
their
the penny
shirt.
slots from yours truly.
Yeah,
I'm a penny slots guy.
penny slots.
Just sit there and win 3 pennies at a time.
It's all about the fun, I guess. But
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to wait and see if they, take away the penny from us. But I would be sad because I grew up with pennies and I like them. But you would like it if pennies went away.
Yeah, they take up space.
Yeah. Check 1, 2. Yeah, I just want to make sure we're working over on the other side. Whenever the phone rings, I get nervous because I go, "Oh, what's going on over there? Are we on
we're
the
here
air?"
by ourselves till 8, so
Yeah, we can't.
all bets are off.
We got some birthdays to celebrate. Happy birthday to Nate Campbell here in Broken Bow. Happy birthday to Jennifer Hammond Frost today. If you're celebrating a birthday on this April 1st, if you're an April Fool's baby, you're celebrating with some nice people, some good people. Hillary Scott is 36, singer for the country trio Lady A. She's celebrating a birthday today. Randy Orton is 42. Does that ring a bell? See, you guys, you're just as like Brent. I was going to say as bad as Brent, but you're just like Brent. He knows every wrestler.
I don't really even watch wrestling that much, though, but you just hear about him. I don't know. Would you know the Hulk? Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, I guess. But if you said the Hulk, I wouldn't think of the wrestler. I'd think of the Hulk.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Rachel Maddow is 49 today. She is a political commentator of the Grammy-winning show on CNBC. And Jimmy Cliff is 78 today. And he kind of popularized reggae music in the mainstream. I Can See Clearly Now is probably the one you'd recognize the most. Jimmy Cliff is 78 today. So those are some of the birthdays that are happening on April Fool's Day. If you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. School lunch menus. Let's take a look and see what we have here on this first day of April. We might not have very many as I think about it because we may not have the new menus in yet.
Sure.
They come in the mail and Kristen rounds them up online. And I don't know that we have any today that are...
I've got one.
You got one?
At the very least. At Sargent today, fish or chicken strips, mac and cheese, green beans, fruit cup, dinner roll, milk, and salad bar. And we'll see if I have any others. Got one for Arnold. They're having macaroni and cheese for lunch today in Arnold. And let's see. I think that might be all she wrote for me.
Okay.
Until we get further into a new month.
Yep, I'll have to wait for the new ones as well. We're going to get a little music going for you this morning. We're going to come back and play the game. We have guests coming in this morning. Looks like we have 3 different folks that's going to stop in and see us. That's the plan anyway, so keep it right here to The Breakfast Show. The Eagles on the Breakfast Show. All right, ready to play the game, Jeremy Shipe?
I'm ready. I got one last question here for the week.
Okay, what are we giving away today? I didn't grab one. What would you like to give away? It's Friday, so whatever you like.
Ice cream's good on Fridays.
Ice cream's great on Fridays.
Let's give away a free dilly bar. Dilly bars are good, too.
They
Perfect size for dessert or a little miniature meal.
Snack,
yeah. A little snack. So if you know the answer to this question I'm about to give, get ready to dial 872-2801 for a chance at a free dilly bar. In March of 1975, a #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 chart was Best of My Love. Who recorded it? Was it A, Billy Joel, B, the Eagles, C, Elton John, or D, Fleetwood Mac? We're looking for the artist who recorded Best of My Love, which was the #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 in March 1975. Who recorded it? 872-2801. Give us a ring.
872-2801, March of 75, right?
March of 1975.
All right, give us a call.
We're so excited for spring at Bow Bootery, and when we get excited, we celebrate with savings for you. Right now, save on selected Twisted X shoes. Buy one pair at regular price and get a second pair half off. Spring fun colors and styles are hitting the shelves. Make your feet comfy this spring. Also, men and women's New Balance in-stock athletic shoes at closeout savings 30% off. So come see us at Bow Bootery on the square in Broken Bow.
If you are looking for the latest techniques, look no further. Team Physical Therapy has skilled therapists that are able to offer you not only manual therapy, expert exercise programs to treat your neck, back, shoulder, and knee pain, but also dry needling. Call 872-5111. Our highly trained staff are here to get you moving again and enjoy life. Call 872-5111 or check us out on the web at myteampt.com.
We have Mia on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good. So what are you up to this morning? You having breakfast? You going to work? What's going on?
Just finished dropping off the kiddo at daycare.
Oh. Then you've
Now
been
head to work.
Now you go to work. You've been working to get to this point, and then you're going to go to work, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. But it's Friday.
It is Friday. That's good. Well, hopefully we'll be able to give you a dilly bar that you can go have today. Here's Jeremy.
All right, we're looking in March of 1975, a #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 chart was Best of My Love. Who recorded it? Billy Joel, the Eagles, Elton John, or Fleetwood Mac?
The Eagles?
That's right.
Way to go, Mia. Good job. Come out. We'll have a certificate here for you. And stop and say hi, and happy Friday to you.
Thank you. Happy Friday.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. That's just a reminder of what's going on. Now, Emily has a really good story on local news this morning about daycare for kids and the Growing Award that was awarded yesterday, and just highlighted it's Kids Week, I believe, or Kids Month.
Yep.
We think it's Kids Year. So it's a good story, and it's about exactly what you heard. A young mother getting up at who knows what time, gathering up everything, getting to daycare, and then going to work. Multitasking is a gift, and ladies have it. So,
Yep. Go and check that story out. And, all those Grow Awards and Chamber editions, those are all included.
You'll find more information on that on Sandhills Express, I'm sure, been posted. So it's a fun time of year for moms and kids because it's not so miserable to get into the car and go to the daycare and go to work. It's getting better all the time.
True.
So spring is sprung. It was so calm today. I couldn't believe it this morning.
I know, it was weird. It was weird to walk outside and not get punched by wind.
I know it.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, it was.
It could have been 20 degrees colder, honestly. It probably would have felt just as good. You take that wind factor out, it's just amazing.
Yes, and today we have a 50-50 chance of getting some moisture, which is good news as well. So hopefully we'll get some of that. And the weekend forecast looks pretty good. They've kind of backed down a little bit, not on temperature so much, but there is going to be some wind back into the forecast this weekend. But we'll still be able to get out and about and do some things. And there's some benefits that are coming up on Saturday and Sunday we want to talk about a little bit later on in the show that are very important. That are taking place. So that's coming up. Right now, we want to talk about some of the things that we have on our list to highlight. One of those is a job opening here at KCNI KBBN Radio. We are looking for a news director. Emily Barnett is still with us on a part-time basis, but this would be a full-time position because Gavin Higgins, who we'll miss very much, has decided to go back and join his family at the ranch operation up in the Sandhills, and we certainly understand that. Being with the family and that tradition, generations of ranching up there. And we'll miss Gavin a bunch. We're looking for somebody just like Gavin because he has been fantastic the last 4 years, and he's part of the radio family, and that's what we're looking for.
Yep, and kind of like we've said before when we've talked about this position, if you can communicate well both orally and through writing, this would be the position for you. You know, all the rest of the stuff, the radio side, the things that maybe you don't have as much experience in, we're confident in our ability to train you on that side of things. So if you like telling stories about people around you in central Nebraska, and trust me, there are some amazing stories out there to be told, this would be the position for you. Send your resume to me. Maybe you're not really sure if you want to apply or not. It can all start with just having a chat about the position. So send your resume to jeremy@sandhillsexpress.com, or if you have any questions, you can send those to me as well. And, if your resume is simple as, pieces of information on jobs that you had previously and just to spur things forward, just get in contact with me.
Yep, just talk about it and see whether it's a fit for both sides. But that is open right now. Gavin will be with us for a while, but we'd like to get somebody in here to work with Gavin and Emily to make that transition smoother.
That's the other thing. Gavin, when Emily went from full-time to part-time news, Gavin was able to come in and he worked with her for nearly a full 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
before
at least, yeah.
And I had the opportunity to do the same thing with Bob when I came in, worked with him for about a week. It's great, obviously, to be able to learn from someone who did the position for, 4 to 5 years. It helps to know how to manage your time. And in that position, it's so much about having the right contacts and knowing when to contact people to get interviews. And the easiest way to contact them that's convenient in their day so that you're not a bother.
Right.
And Gavin's got a really good handle on that.
He does.
And he's had to do it quite a bit the last couple of months. Example would be all of the fires that have happened. Just think about how busy a lot of those fire chiefs are in these volunteer fire departments between their full-time job, being a fire chief, and then, Gavin's there asking questions too. He tries his best not to get in the way, and he's patient, and he gets the information out to the people that people want to know. And, it's just something you can learn rather than having to learn it yourself. You can learn it when Gavin's here.
Yeah, that really helps. And I'm glad that when you trained with Bob for as long as you did, I'm surprised you didn't become a hippy-dippy radio man.
I almost grew a ponytail.
Yeah,
it was close. He had those rubber bands all over his desk. I still find rubber bands in my desk drawers every now and then, like the ones he'd put in his hair.
Yeah,
I still find them every now and then.
Well, that's weird, but not surprising.
They were everywhere. I'm telling you.
I'm going to talk just a moment about the Whiskey Barrel and Broken Bow while we're stopped here. This time of year, there's going to be brandings and all sorts of things that crews are going to be doing on the weekends and during the week. And a lot of times after a branding or a big project, maybe working on a house together as neighbors, you get together and pop a few caps on some brew, and stands ready for you there. If you walk in and make your purchase, you get free ice with your purchase. And remember, when you put his beverages out of his coolers into the cooler of ice, you're actually warming the liquid up. That beer will be nice and cold. So if you're one of those folks who just want to, get a small amount of refreshments, and you're not going to put it on ice, it'll still be ice cold for you. And that's the way Stan likes to do it. The other thing we'd like to highlight here, they are open 7 days a week, and they'd love to have you walk in the door and purchase their products. They guarantee you that there is no leaders to get you in the door that are low priced, and then you'll pay more for other products. They know their competition. They know what they need to have for a markup to be successful, and that's what you get right there. You're just paying a fair price for the products that are there. That's the way Stan does things. And I think a lot of people just like to go in to a specific shop that's dedicated to one thing, and the Whiskey Barrel is dedicated to spirits. And you just go there when you think you're going to pick something like that up. That's kind of where you think you're going to go, and that's the way Stan wants it. So they're located between Subway and Vet Care on Highway 2, right near First Avenue there. You can't miss them, right across from Gateway Motors in Broken Bow, the Whiskey Barrel. Also, we have another job opening we see here. They are looking for an employee at Custer Federal State Bank.
Yeah, they are searching for a full-time customer service specialist. You should be an outgoing, positive individual who enjoys interacting with customers, and you have to be willing to learn. Duties include answering the phone, greeting customers, and processing banking transactions. A full-time position with competitive pay and benefits, including insurance, 401k, and paid vacation and sick time. They invite you to visit their Broken Bow location for an employment application. For more information or to submit an application, contact Caitlin Peterson. Just email Caitlin at custerfederal.com or call 872-6486. All of this information is available on sandhillsexpress.com's employment page as well. If this is something that has spurred interest in you, you can swing over there and check it out on the page.
All right. Thank you very much, Jeremy. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to have a little fun with the Beach Boys. We'll have news at the top.
Stay up to date on your bank accounts no matter where your schedule takes you. Sign up for mobile or online banking with Bruning Bank to keep track of your accounts anywhere, anytime. At home, the gym, grocery store, day or night. Deposit checks, transfer between accounts, view transactions, and check balances. Set up bill pay so you never forget to pay a bill ever again. Ready to simplify your life? Download the app or visit bruningbank.com. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
Whether you stay home or travel to see your family doctor or specialist, there's a couple of questions you'll likely be asked. One of those would be your list of medications you're currently taking. The other, who is your pharmacy? If you expect personal service and attention to detail, your answer should be Barney Health Mart in Broken Bow. Barney's pharmacy staff members likely know you and your family. If not, they'll take the time necessary to become a friend that you can trust and talk to. Health Mart, caring for you and about you. Barney Health Mart, downtown Broken Bow.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
It's the best start to my day. WBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News special report. The Labor Department has just released its March jobs report. It shows non-farm payrolls rose by 431,000 compared to an added 678,000 the month before. Unemployment down to 3.6%. Bottom line, people who want to work shouldn't have a problem finding it, which leads to the Great Resignation. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Job openings are still plentiful, totaling more than 11 million in January, but the quit rate has started to taper off a little bit, perhaps a sign that the labor market's reshuffle is beginning to enter a new period.
Most job gains in March in leisure and hospitality, professional, business services, and retail. Again, the Labor Department reporting 431,000 jobs added last month, fewer than the month before. CBS News special report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Here is a look at state news. I'm Gavin Higgins. Nebraska and Iowa officials on Wednesday announced support for Ukraine. Governor Pete Ricketts was joined Wednesday afternoon by representatives from the Nebraska Military Department, State Patrol, and the Department of Transportation. The state is sending expired protective gear to Ukrainians fighting against the Russian invasion. The governor also encouraged Nebraskans to donate other items if they are able. Earlier on Wednesday, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds made a similar announcement in Iowa. In addition to providing equipment, the state, quote, stands ready to accept Ukrainian refugees, according to the governor. Changes are coming to a Northeast Nebraska employer, though specific details remain unclear. Several employees of Cardinal Health's Norfolk location, speaking on the condition of anonymity, said that they were informed on Wednesday morning that the company would be moving some of its production to other locations outside of the Norfolk facility. In an email to NCN on Wednesday, Cardinal Health confirmed that operational changes are expected by April of 2023, while also stating there are no immediate effects to staff members' employment statuses. In March of 2021, Cardinal announced that it had signed an agreement to sell part of its business to Hellman and Friedman for approximately $1 billion. The transaction is expected to close in the first half of Cardinal Health's fiscal year 2022. Cardinal Health has been in business for 50 years and has operation in more than 40 countries. It employs approximately 48,000 people globally.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In the NBA, 5 games on the schedule, highlighted by the Bucks beating the Nets in Brooklyn 120-119 in overtime. Milwaukee star Giannis Antetokounmpo, 44 points, 14 rebounds in the win. He also passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the Bucks' all-time leading scorer. Kevin Durant had 26 points, Kyrie Irving 25 points in a losing effort. Milwaukee clinches a playoff spot with that victory, and they're just a half game back of Miami for the best record in the Eastern Conference. Jazz beat the Lakers 122-109. LA falls back out of the final spot in the play-in round in the West. San Antonio moves back in. DeMar DeRozan 50 points for the Bulls and a 135-130 overtime win over the Clippers. 76ers get 37 points and 15 rebounds from star Joel Embiid and still lose to the Pistons 102-94. And the Hawks beat the Cavaliers 131-107. Atlanta has clinched at least the final spot in the play-in round in the Eastern Conference. NFL news, the LA Rams signed former Seahawks star linebacker Bobby Wagner to a 5-year, $50 million deal.
Here's your Weatherology Forecast. For today, look for increasing cloud cover. Do pick up a chance for some afternoon showers developing with high temperatures into the upper 50s. Then for tonight, partly cloudy, will drop back to a low of 28. Saturday, abundant sunshine making a return with mid-60s for high temperatures. And into your Sunday, still expecting lots of sunshine. On the windy side, though, high of 60. For the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Carroll.
When someone asks me, when is the best time to start saving for retirement, my answer is simple. It's today. Hi, I'm Tim McCaslin.
And I'm Janet Lawhorn,
your local Edward Jones financial advisors. We can help you build a plan for your ideal retirement by identifying your unique goals and help you keep on track to achieve them. The sooner you get started, the better. Call us at 308-872-6849 or visit edwardjones.com to schedule an appointment today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
8:06 is your time. It's 29 degrees outside. Cloud cover has moved in. It was partly cloudy this morning, probably more clear than not, and we could tell the clouds were accumulating, and that's what they're forecasting because we have that 50% chance of some moisture today. Winds are calm, which is unusual. Barometric pressure up 1 point in the last hour at 29.87. Humidity at 75%. High temperature yesterday, 53, with an overnight low temperature reading of 18. That was at 6 o'clock this morning. Sunrise at 7:22, sunset at 8:03 today, and nothing in the rain gauge here on this April 1st. We did end up with a mere 37 hundredths for the whole month of March. So we are hoping and counting on those April showers to turn things around for us here in the area, get ready for spring planting, and reduce those number of fires that Jeremy was talking about. While we have time here, we want to tell you about a couple of benefits we've been promoting this week. Pretty exciting to have these coming up on Saturday and Sunday for some of our residents in need. There's a benefit for Lyric Scott that takes place on Saturday from 3 p.m. until 7 p.m. at the Broken Bow Golf Club, sponsored by the Lions Club. They offer a cornhole tournament, taco and nacho bar, and silent auction. And I did hear the local news story yesterday on this event, and the family just says, you know what, if you just want to come and enjoy watching other people play or having a meal or not having a meal, they'd love to have you. You don't have to participate in anything you don't want to, but cornhole about anybody can play and have some fun with, so it's a great invitation, and they're looking forward to that. If you can't make it, you can just make a donation, of course, as well. And so that's coming up tomorrow from 3 until 7 at the Broken Bow Golf Club. Then on Sunday, the Dog Jog Fundraiser we've been talking about, and Becky was in to talk about that last week. This will happen on Sunday at 2 p.m. at Melham Park in Broken Bow. So 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon in the park. You can walk or jog with other pet owners. Enter raffles for prizes for you and your dog, prizes for costumes on the dog, and completion times on a route there that they have set up. I would imagine you could dress up a costume and your dog could have a costume matching.
Yeah, do a matching costume.
Yeah. Proceeds all go to help Nathan King purchase a therapy dog. He lost his dog that he had before. I think its name was Hooch. And it had been diagnosed with cancer, and he lost the dog and his best friend, and really all part of his therapy, according to Becky, very important part of it. And he's found another one called Raisin, and making progress on that, but needs a little more money to purchase Raisin, a good service dog. There's some expense in training them, and I know Nathan would appreciate this. Nathan King will be the benefit of the activities on Sunday. Take part if you can. If you'd like to make a donation and you can't make it, you can call 872-5800. You can also call that same number for more information on that event on Sunday. And let's see, Jeremy, we got a couple other things over there that you want to tell folks about before our guests start coming in?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about pizza. For April, the big dinner box is going on. 2 medium rectangular pan, 1-topping pizzas, 5 breadsticks, and a half pan of pasta, or 8 boneless wings of your flavor choice for $23.99. That's the big dinner box. Or you can get 3 medium rectangular pizzas for just a little bit more in that box. Spicy pizza is sticking around until May 9th, so you have time to try it out still. Double pepperoni, Hawaiian, and veggie options, $13.99 for a large. Don't forget to sign up for the loyalty program online at Pizza Hut, and they are looking to hire for all positions with wonderful benefits, flexible hours, competitive wages. You can stop in or apply online. Call 870-1520 for Tammy or 872-6472 for the Broken Bow Pizza Hut. They close at 4 on Mondays, they're closed on Tuesdays, and they're closing at 9 p.m. every other night that they are open. The dining room is still closed, and they apologize for that inconvenience, but they hope to be back to normal hours soon. That's the Pizza Hut in Broken Bow. Go and try the big dinner box or the spicy pizza, which is continuing on going forward this month. Also, the SEM Foundation invites you to their Gatsby Gala 2022. It is coming up April 9th at the One Box Convention Center in Broken Bow. The doors open at 5:30, and the silent auction starts at that time, too. You'll enjoy a delicious steak dinner at 7 o'clock. The live auction is at 8, and they invite you to come dressed for the theme or just as you feel comfortable for this social event. Tickets are available for $50 and can be picked up from the front office at the SEM school, the main place, or from any board member. The Gatsby Gala 2022, April 9th at the One Box Convention Center. This is put on by the SEM School Foundation, and we're really happy to have them hosting that in Broken Bow and invite them up from the SEM area to benefit a great cause for the school.
Yeah, as we said yesterday, good people, great school, and it's so nice of them to come up and use our facility here. So there's nothing wrong with us supporting them while they're here.
Yep, exactly. And, it's for $50. I'm sure much of that entry into the event goes right back to the foundation. So if anything, if you want to spend $50 and go and have some dinner and converse a little bit, you would be helping out that much more just by attending the event. So please consider buying tickets to that. Again, April 9th, starting at 5:30 at the One Box Convention Center. Farmers, review and have the staff at Universal Insurance help look at your coverage. They can help you make sure that you are properly insured on all of your equipment and can help to make sure that your building values are at the appropriate levels before you get busy with planting this season. Call Universal Insurance in Broken Bow at 872-6438 or stop into their office right off of Highway 2. Universal Insurance Agency is a division of GTA Insurance Group, and they would love to have you stop by. Always good to check in with your insurance agent and see what's going on. And I know Nate and the crew at Universal Insurance, they are happy to help you out and making sure you're sitting pretty.
Yep, they'll take care of you. They've been local since the 1960s, so they're here and ready to go. Just a little housekeeping here. Kind of go back to the first half hour today. I always kind of want to remind folks that when we are on the breakfast show at 7:30 to 8, we are the only ones here. And I know it's frustrating sometimes out there when you're calling in and nobody picks up the phone. But when we're on the air, unless we're giving something away, we have a schedule and so forth, and just can't pick up the phone very easily. Sometimes we can get it done if it works out. But just so you know, we're not ignoring you. Well, we just don't have the multitasking abilities sometimes from 7:30 to 8 to answer a call coming in not knowing what it is. So that's just something we wanted to ring up this morning. Apologize for the frustration on your end, but know that Kristen's very prompt. She gets here right at 8 o'clock, and she'll pick up the phone when she gets here. So that's something that I understand when you're trying to call somebody and they're talking, they're there. You're hearing them on the radio. They should be able to talk.
Yeah, it's a truly unique experience. What other business can you call where you know for sure that there's someone there?
Yeah. And these days, we could do a whole... matter of fact, this is something that Cheryl Smith, former manager here that I worked for back many years ago, she called the other day and she said, Dave, do you think you could do a show or a news series on all these robocalls and all of these things that we're getting on our phones, somebody calling in and it's somebody else's number that you know, and then when you answer it, it's not them. And it's talk about frustrating. There's so much of that going on these days. And the downside is, I don't know about you folks out there, but we miss some calls that we probably shouldn't have because a lot of times we don't recognize the number anymore. You just don't pick it up. And so in a way, we're destroying our communications between one another because of all these other calls.
It's, it's exactly that way because, I don't have every number of every person that I'll ever talk to saved in my phone. But because of the frustration of answering a call that wastes my time, I don't pick them up. And then, sure enough, it's someone who's looking to contact me about actual business or something that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And then you play phone tag. It goes on for 2 or 3 days.
Yep.
And you finally contact with each other. It's ridiculous in the year 2022 that we have to do something like that.
Well, Cheryl, it's a good idea. We'll talk to Emily about it and Gavin and see about getting some telephone companies to come in and visit with us about, what we can do. 'Cause there's a lot of calls right now coming in. You go, oh, that's Julie X. That's her number. And then it's not. They're using the number.
Mm-hmm.
And there's even cases now, what we read it the other day, I think, Jeremy, where you're getting messages, text messages, and messages with your own number, and they're sending that into your file, making you think it's about a bill or something of your own. I mean, they're even using your own number. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they've gone the full length of efforts to get to us, to sell us something, or worse yet, scam us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting frustrating, no doubt about it.
And those no-call lists and things like that you used to be able to sign up for, they don't seem to really do much of anything. I've really stopped. If I don't have to put my phone number on something, if it says optional, I just do not fill it in anymore.
Yeah.
At all. That's kind of where it starts, an innocent sign up for a giveaway or something like that, whether it be in person or online, and your number's out there. And that's how it all begins. But you don't want to stop doing those things.
Well,
because you've done them for years.
Exactly. That's a great point, Jeremy, because I think sometimes this way of doing things, way of abusing this technology, phone numbers, which is been around a while, is causing people in some cases to give less, because once you give to an organization, they will never leave you alone.
Yeah.
You say, I gave to you once, that's all I really thought to, or maybe 5 times you decide to give your money to somebody else, and then you're on that list and they just won't leave you alone, and you say, take me off the list. They say, okay, we'll do that. And then the next year they call you again.
Yeah. It's like my, I went to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and I get a call maybe about every 3 months asking for donations. I'm like, can I finish my tuition payments first?
Well, you should have went to Mid-Plains Community College, and your tuition wouldn't have been so high.
I probably should have done that. Should have considered that. Look at that segue. My personal financial problems rolled into a segue into our next guest.
Just saying, Casey could have saved you some money.
Mm-hmm.
You really are the king of segues. That was great.
Some of them are shameless, but this one worked out pretty good. Casey is here from Mid-Plains Community College, and you can save people some money to get started in schooling, to get a 2-year degree or get a start in college, right?
Yes, we sure can. We try to do that every day, and we love that. In fact, here recently, I've had a lot of calls and emails, several calls and emails from university students who are going to be home for the summer, and they're looking for a class to take to maybe knock one out so you don't have to go back and take it in the fall or in the spring, and pay tuition rates that are probably 3, 4, 5 times as high. So we just added a new physics class for this summer, which is, it kind of sounds like physics. Do I really want to do that over my summer? But it is a 5 credit hour course. So when you think about that in terms of paying that at Mid-Plains or paying that tuition at your university, obviously, you'd probably rather pay less money. So we do have a few students signed up for that physics class. I'm kind of excited for it. So it's a 2-day-a-week class, and I don't have the days right in front of me. I think it's Monday and Wednesdays from 3:30 to 6 p.m. So it still kind of works out if somebody's coming back and they have a job, and maybe they can work during the morning and be off by 3:30 and come to class and get your 5 credit hours in. So
how often are classes combined with in classroom with online? How does that work?
Well, we call those hybrid courses, and I would say often, especially now. The hybrid courses were in existence, but not really popular really before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to start saying like PC and AC or something. But since COVID did change the way that we have class and we teach class and we offer classes, and hybrid is one of those kind of popular methods that I think everybody can sort of land on as a good solution, because you're still coming to class, you still get to see someone, but you still do the majority of things that can be done at home. You do those at home or online, wherever. So they're pretty popular.
How many businesses out there do you work with? A lot of businesses nowadays, part of the benefits they offer, part of the value of their payment to their employees is, if you want to expand your education, we'll help you. Are there business partnerships that you have out there that work with you on the employee wants to take a night class or a computer class or Sunday afternoon class?
Yeah, we get that quite often. It gets either the employee themselves or maybe the employee supervisor calls up and says, so-and-so needs to take Excel. They need to learn some things about Excel. That's probably one of the most popular. Anything to do with a computer, really. We do those all the time. So there's just a simple form. If the employee comes and takes a class, and then we actually bill the employer for the class. And so it works out pretty nice. I tell kids that all the time. If you're not sure what you want to do, go get a job and then let your employer pay for your college education.
Well, if that also benefits the business itself, the Excel completion of that course, helping them be more productive and be able to do a job at the desk, it's worth it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a small investment for a business to be able to invest that money into that employee. It's just one of those, it's one of those reasons that as employers, you guys know this, that once you get a good employee, you want to keep investing in that person, because you don't want them to leave and go somewhere else, be unhappy and go somewhere else. But you want to invest in their education so that it not only benefits them, but benefits your business. So we do that all the time.
All right. Well, we kind of got started there on that particular subject. Was there something else you wanted to talk about today?
Well, that was great, because I love talking about summer classes. We do a lot of online courses, but we also do on-site. So don't forget about those on-site summer courses. But I have breaking news.
Oh, we like breaking news.
On the breakfast show.
Yeah.
I know. I love being able to do this. And I am kind of stealing Shelley's thunder here.
Oh.
She's out today, as is Brent, so I think maybe they're doing some things together. But anyway, I'm going to steal her thunder anyway.
Okay.
Because she's been working hard on getting this class together, but I'm going to go ahead and break the news.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a popular one. This is probably the most requested class that we are ever asked for, and especially this time of year. Do you guys got a guess?
Heading into spring
and summer, and what people like to do in summer.
Oh, is it a boating class?
You guessed it.
Boating. Okay.
Boater safety, a boater safety course. We just get calls after calls after calls on this. And it's like when one person thinks about it, and then they start telling their friends, then everybody calls us. So we're preemptively getting that out of the way this year. So we actually have not one, but two boater safety courses this summer. Breaking news.
Double break.
Right. So they're going to be held on Sunday, April 25th. And Sunday, June 5th. So if you don't get around in the April class, you've still got time to get in there in that June class. Now, here's the caveat to that. We have to have 10 people in the class. So I highly, highly recommend taking the April course first and saving the June course for a what if we didn't make it to the April course, because you don't want to just assume that it will be there. If we don't get enough people in June, then we can't have it. It will be from 1 to 4 p.m. And it is $10 a person. That's a bargain.
That is.
Yeah. Of course, it teaches students how to safely operate a motorized boat or watercraft while following all rules and regulations. And of course, it is kind of about passing it. So you have your little card that you can drive that boat, but it really is about the safety factor, because you're putting, essentially kids usually are the ones that take this course, on a jet ski that can be somewhat dangerous. So we like to head that off, and hopefully kids will, know what they're doing before they head out to the lake this summer. But the rules are anyone born after December 31st, 1985, and you are at least 14 years of age. So it's not an either or, it's an and situation. So you have to be born after 1985, but you also have to be 14. So if you're 13, we get a lot of questions like that. Well, my son's 13 or my daughter's going to be 14 in August. And unfortunately, can't do it. It's like getting your driver's license. You have to be that certain age before you can do it. But anyone who falls into those categories has to have boater safety. So for me, for example, I unfortunately was not born after 1985. But so I don't technically have to have a little boater safety card to operate a boat. But the safety factor, again, it's a good idea to have that. So this is an option B course, which means it's 3 hours, which means the student is responsible for downloading the materials before the class starts. And they study the course materials, and then they come to class. They have a brief review of the materials, and then they take the test. And if you pass, you get your little card right there. So
nice.
Yes.
And this is also kind of one of those things, even if you don't have your own boat, or that you're not planning on, if you just happen to be going to the lake to meet your friends and there's a boat that, you never know what situation might pop up, or if you've only got one person that has a boater safety card on the boat and you're going to be boating all weekend, eventually they're going to get burnt out. And I don't know about you, but if I'm driving someone else's boat, I want to know what I'm doing, at least a little bit.
And if you're 14, you're going to want to drive the boat.
Exactly.
That too.
Exactly. And the thing that we run into the most often is jet skis. Every kid wants to operate a jet ski, right? Well, it is the same rules apply. You have to have that card. And what we see a lot of is we'll get calls where people will say, well, so-and-so is going to bring a friend this weekend and he needs his boater safety card. It's better to have that before than not. For a $10 investment and a little bit of your time, you're set and you're prepared, and you don't have to retake it later on. That I'm aware of. This is it. So make sure that you get in and do this course.
That's a pretty cheap insurance policy.
Yeah.
Boy, it sure
$10.
is. Yeah. And there is so much more to know about safety on the water than you realize until you read the safety instructions. You're going, wow, I didn't know that. And then when you get out on the water, you actually understand why those rules are there, and kind of gives you an advantage when you know ahead of time what you're supposed to be doing. But I would think if you had a family of 5 and you had some of the kids that were over 14, the whole family just take it, like you was talking, Jeremy, and then anybody could participate that was 14.
Yep.
Especially crowded waters.
Oh yeah, in the heat of the summer, you got all the different watercrafts out there. Some of them go really fast. Some of them, don't. But it gets cluttered.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are, game wardens out there every day, and they will check.
Yes.
And they do make sure that everybody who is operating a watercraft has that card. So don't think that you're going to just slip in and get by that day. Yeah. Not a good idea. It's like driving without a license. It's just not, you might get by a time or two, but it's just not a good idea.
Yeah, you're not going to have as much fun if you're thinking like you have to sneak around all day and the game warden hopefully doesn't see you than if you have the card.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's why we have 2 courses this summer. And I promise you, if you, we have some powers of persuasion here in Broken Bow, because the Game and Parks they don't schedule a lot of these classes anymore. AC after COVID. They used to do them all the time, and they kind of went away a little bit because there were some online options that are still around, but they're kind of expensive. But But we have some powers of persuasion here, and we talk them into coming not once, but twice.
All right.
So
cool.
the first one, April 25th, boater safety at Mid-Plains Community College, 1 to 4.
1 to 4.
Yep.
Right. Thanks, Casey.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Saw you yesterday. That was fun, too.
Absolutely.
We'll take a time out. We'll come back with our next guest. And thanks to Casey Johnson, Mid-Plains Community College. Happy Friday to you and happy weekend.
Thanks.
We'll take this time out and continue.
Get the used equipment you need now. Purple Wave Auction sells hundreds of pieces of heavy equipment each week at no reserve auction. Items are selling in your area now. Bidding is simple. Visit purplewave.com to get started. Purple Wave Auction. Straight, simple, sold.
Sign up now for a chance to win the Extreme Experience giveaway. One winner will receive the drive of a lifetime behind the wheel of a supercar of their choice. Oh, by the way, there's no speed limit. You must be at least 18 years old with a valid driver's license to enter. We will draw one winner May 2nd on The Breakfast Show. Make sure to enter daily at sandhillsexpress.com/contests. The Extreme Experience giveaway is brought to you by
A1 Auto Repair in Arnold, Power Solutions of Broken Bow, and Muddy Creek Auto, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
There's something for everyone on Discovery Plus. The streaming home of ghostly freakouts, muscle car spinouts, and 90-day makeouts.
I'm really in love with her.
Start your free trial today for exclusive originals and a huge collection of favorites.
Whoa!
Then dive into nature docs, geek out with the family, and get your grub on.
I could eat this every day.
The streaming home of true crime, paranormal, food, home, nature, romance, plus so much more. Discovery Plus. Start your free trial. Terms apply.
This tax filing season could be one for the record books. There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table, and Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you get every one you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, taking classes, and so much more. Don't leave thousands on the table. Jackson Hewitt will make sure you get credit for all you do and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more and find your nearest location at jacksonhewitt.com.
8:33 is your time. Thanks for listening to The Breakfast Show. We appreciate it. And thanks again to Casey for coming in and telling us about all the things going on at Mid-Plains Community College. Now we're going to talk a little bit about electricity, safe, efficient, safe, reliable, consistent.
Always there when you need us.
Yes, all of that. Rick Nelson is here from Custer Public Power, and he walked in the door and he handed us an Energy Insight publication. This is the first quarter of 2022, a sustainable future power solution. Nuclear energy? Are you kidding me?
That's just the cover, Dave. There's so much more information inside of it. So this is NPPD's quarterly little deal.
Mm-hmm.
If you open up to page maybe 3 or 4, no, go one more.
One more.
What's that headline? Oh, well, turn back.
Okay.
No, you went too far. What's that about?
STEM powers tomorrow's workforce.
Yeah.
Wow. I was looking for a nuclear bomb in here, and instead it was STEM.
See, it's a bait and switch on you. I had to get your blood pressure up
well,
first.
It is April Fool's Day, you know.
Ooh, forgot about that.
Yeah, be careful.
What do you think of that?
This is fantastic. This is something Custer Public Power has been involved in for quite a while now.
Right, yeah, exactly. And that article happens to be about us.
It says right there in bold, Rick Nelson.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Got a quote.
They quoted you?
Well, in theory. No, they quoted me. Yeah, no, it's a good article they put together talking about our STEM program, how long we've been doing it. It's been 5 years?
At least 5 years.
2017?
It's probably a couple of years before.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
Anyway.
is a great article, Rick. That's neat they put this in here.
Yeah. It's pretty proud of that. That magazine goes out to all of Nebraska, so it's feels pretty good to be kind of highlighted as an example for the STEM trailer. And our partnership with BD, it's still growing, and it's getting better every year. So pretty excited about it.
Let's back up a little bit and kind of explain to folks out there. There's maybe some folks that are not up to speed on this, even though it's been around for 5 years.
Yeah.
What it exactly offers students, and the territory that you offer this is wide. Wherever your electric service goes, you make this STEM education available. So.
Right. So at 13 schools in our service territory, and now I'm a little not happy with myself because I should have brought Taryn in with me today to talk about it. But no, it's we've gone to every school this year except for maybe a couple. I think Litchfield's coming up here pretty quick. Spends about 2.5 weeks at each school, and I think we're kind of looking at revamping that a little bit, getting it out there a little bit longer, changing some things up. There's just a lot of things that we added in a broidery machine to it.
Oh, did you?
And we're looking at adding some welding supplies, some welding, mini welding stuff, and so I'm pretty excited about where it's going. Clay from Arnold is helping us and doing a great job in getting things kind of moved around. And have to apologize. It's not going to Litchfield next. It's going to Ansley. So it's good. We're finally. It's really odd. So the year passes by so fast when you're talking about STEM, because it goes here, here, here. Now all of a sudden we only have one school left and the school year's over.
Yeah.
And then we start planning for next year, and that planning's already begun. We got a meeting coming up with BD to talk about some changes that we'd like to make, and it's going to be fun.
The students really, really grab onto this, and there's, Jeremy, the 3D printer available, and all sorts of things that I think they take all the learning that they had at that particular school and send it to the next one with notes and so forth. So they don't have to start from scratch every time it goes to another school. They can start from the notes that the other school put together. So it's a combined effort of all the schools, really, because of the way you set it up.
Oh, absolutely. And, it's always been a dream of mine to make sure that all the kids in our service territory know that most good paying careers don't require a 4-year education. You can become a lineman and make a lot of money.
Yeah, good living.
Yeah, it's a great living. You can go to work for BD. You can, there's just the endless possibilities within Broken Bow, within Custer County, within our service territories, far out as Mullen and Tryon. There's opportunities for people who are into science and into technology and like doing math. There's just a ton of stuff. We're going to add that welding, simulator onto it. And then that captures some more skills that are needed out there. And of course, growing up on the farm, you kind of do that anyway. You grow up working on engines, you grow up welding gates, and all that kind of fun stuff. Now I add pneumatics into it, and maybe that auto gate looks a little bit different with raises and lowers or moves, and anyway. So that's it's been a fun project for us, and it was always my dream that every school would look forward to that coming every year and having the opportunity to do some stuff that they that they can't do at the school. Or school adds some stuff and we go in a different direction and add something different.
Yeah. They, by what the students kind of indicate the direction, robotics, and you offer a vinyl cutter.
Vinyl cutter, yep.
For signage and all of that sort of thing. It says right here in your article that you're featured in that the grant dollars were awarded in the first quarter of 2017. So
right.
you were correct. And by the end, the mobile STEM trailer was organized and was out and about, rotating to all these schools. BD, a big part of it.
BD is a
natural
really
fit.
big part of it, yeah. And when we got actually, they're the ones that got the grant because it had to be a manufacturing type of business. And boy, we hit the ground running. By October, I think we had something. We had the whole trailer put together, every box put together, and everything purchased. And we were pretty well flying at that point just to get it out. But it was a fun endeavor, and really want to thank BD for all of their hard work and expertise, and so it's really good.
Yeah, and Dave Berge is the manager now, and he's all about this. I mean, he understands the importance of this project. Sometimes when you have management changes, you have a little difficulty maintaining the excitement about it, but I don't think you do with Dave.
Oh, no, it's great, and I love that enthusiasm. And we brought on Clay Moore, and he's been taking us to the next level, I think, and that's what we want to do.
Well, Jeremy's had the pleasure of working with Clay on SORC, and
right.
Once you're around Clay, you understand that he's just a get-her-done guy.
Pretty much.
He just doesn't. There's no stopping him when there's a goal to reach, and he has the tools and the know-how and what a great teacher he was over the years. That program over there really shines and was a leader in developing skills in the classroom that they could use. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So pretty excited.
Yeah. So, what else did you want to talk about?
Well, I don't know. What else is in there, Dave?
Well, I didn't know about the nuclear thing.
Then don't open up to the back page. But, I mean...
Oh, that's solar there.
Yeah, what does that say?
It says your local public power utility has got you covered, determining if you're a good fit for solar.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good checklist of... they've been out there for a while, but people trying to, I don't want to say peddle, but, sell solar.
Yeah.
All it takes is a phone call into us, and you got to make sure you size the solar correctly, and it's always better to take more than one proposal from an installer, because you just got to make sure that you're going down the right path and spending your money wisely. So that's one of the little things on there they talk about, is make sure that you go out and get a couple of different bids for solar, if you're thinking about solar. And don't forget that there's a pretty good upfront cost to solar that may or may not pay out over the lifetime. But it's always good to check those numbers, and a good resource is Custer Public Power. And so make sure to put us on your list if you're thinking about solar, if you're thinking about installing anything. We can tell you from a net metering standpoint, what would be what your usage has been, which then helps you size that solar install.
And you don't have to explain it in detail today, but the homeowner or business owner probably needs to know how that works with their current electric bill. I mean, if they're producing electricity, how does that mesh with what they're already doing with their their electric source now, right?
Right. So from a net metering standpoint, it just offsets your usage. So if the sun's shining and you're taking on kilowatt hours, then that offsets what they've used or what they're using. And so you get full retail credit for that. If you oversize it, then you don't get full retail credit for all the kilowatt hours you produce, and it's the payback isn't as low from a year standpoint. So, but yeah, it just offsets what you use, and so
yeah. So, most of those that you're aware of, are they being placed on roofs or in the backyard, or how do you know where to? Because they can take up some space. I mean,
they can. So I hear a lot about rooftop solar, and in our area, we're not confined that much, so we don't need to put it on a roof. We can put it in the backyard. We can put it in, most of the residences that we serve have enough land. They're not just on a 100 by 100 lot.
Yeah, side by side. And, yeah.
There are some, Myrna, Thetford, some of that, but the majority are out and about and have plenty of room to put it on next to the house or next to the meter or somewhere easy.
One that comes to mind is when you drive over to Callaway, and I know that's not a residential solar location.
Nope.
That was one that I think you were involved
absolutely.
with.
Yep.
And are there more than Callaway? Is there some other ones around?
Yeah, so there's a total of about 8 of those projects. Those were larger projects that are what we would classify. We brought them in under a power purchase agreement. They're underneath of our 10% that we're allotted from our wholesale supplier. Typically we have a all requirements contract, so we can't have anything. But in the last 2015, 2016 wholesale power contract, NPPD allowed 10%. And so those are underneath the 10%. The net metering isn't. We're building out we get a couple of phone calls a month about net metering. And so it's staying on top of that is kind of fun. But yeah, the one over by Callaway there on the Callaway Road is about 150 kW, I think, ish, which is larger than net meter.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's a standalone. It doesn't offset anything. It just goes through a meter and onto our lines. So it's a little bit different.
Okay. All right. Well, those are some things that are going on. As long as we're talking about, I don't know if we call them alternative energy anymore or not, because they're all part of the portfolio, but certainly we are aware of wind, the wind-generated electricity, and it still amazes me coming in from the into town, how far away you see those turbines running, and you get here in town, you kind of forget about them, but you don't just have to go outside of town a little ways and see
not very
them.
far.
Yeah. Now, there's another one proposed being built, or is it underway?
There's another one that's still proposed.
Okay.
It's not close to construction yet.
Okay.
It's down in the Mason City area.
But that's still being talked about.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, did you want to talk about the other alternative, which is
the nuclear?
Well, I know there's coal. We know that, and then there's nuclear. And maybe I should turn this section over to Jeremy, because I kind of get worked up on nuclear.
No, I really didn't. Although that front cover is pretty spectacular, don't you think?
Yeah. I think one of the things that you've made clear is that it's just the process is the same in some ways, whether it's coal or nuclear. It's heating up the water, right?
Yep. Yeah, so all generation is the same. It's a boiler-based heating water that creates steam, and then it goes through that steam goes through a turbine. And so nuclear is the same as a gas turbine, as a coal turbine. They're all creating steam.
And you're talking natural gas, right?
Natural gas,
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So, in your opinion, Mr. Nelson, Custer Public Power, what are the advantages of nuclear?
Well, if you don't, I can't believe you asked that question.
Well, I'd just like to know what you're thinking.
He just wants to be an educated man.
Yeah, and our audience might want to know.
Really?
He's like, no, he doesn't.
Advantages of nuclear. Oh, my goodness, Dave. I really didn't think I'd get into that. So the very first advantage, if you don't like carbon, you have to love nuclear.
Well,
because it's a non-carbon generation, non-carbon emitting generation, which is a whole lot better than natural gas and coal from a carbon emitting perspective.
Okay, so we're talking carbon here, right? What other advantages? Because I just have one disadvantage that
it's low cost, and a real funny statistic that I keep thinking of. If we were allowed to reprocess the fuel that's on site in a very safe container right now, all that fuel that's in a very safe container, guarded, nothing can almost never happen to it. Cooper Nuclear would have enough fuel for the next 200 years on site.
But your statement kind of catches your, if we could, what is stopping that from happening?
Well, okay. What's stopping that from happening is that back in the 1970s, the United States did not want the proliferation of nuclear weapons, so they don't want anybody reprocessing spent fuel rods, because once you reprocess it, then it turns into
weapons. Yeah.
Weapon grade plutonium.
Yep.
So that's the issue.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we've talked about this briefly before. I think we stay away from it for obvious reasons. We are friends and we want to remain friends.
Absolutely, which is why I wasn't necessarily going to talk about nuclear, but the page I opened up to is very telling. So in 2021, NPPD had the 5th lowest cost residential electricity in the United States, Nebraska. Nebraska is actually number 9th, but if you separate out NPPD's cost, that lands number 5th. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Good
that part's good.
Oh, yeah,
part's good. But look at this page. Jeremy, see that little puppy with the lady there?
Mm-hmm.
If that puppy gets close to one of those boxes Rick's talking about, it might be like a bright green. That puppy might glow.
Yeah, see, that's where do I go with that?
It's not fact.
It's not true.
Only if the puppy got in the box.
I think the puppy would be more bluish than green.
Yeah, the color. The color. That's what was wrong with your statement.
Gosh,
just the color.
The media these days, they attach a color to it, and it's inappropriate. It's not the right color. But it is fluorescent. But I think it's closer to blue, kind of like the front cover there.
Well, all opinions aside here, where are we at right now with...
Did you hear that NPPD is number 5th in the United States for the lowest cost residential rates?
I heard that.
You skimmed right over top of that. Went right back to nuclear. I can't believe I let you do that.
Well, you didn't. I just... I think I understand your statement of the advantages and the cost factor there.
Yep. Which has a little bit to do with nuclear, but that just put nuclear on the shelf, Dave. I still can't believe we're going into that.
Okay, let's quit. We'll talk about it another time. We always say that, but we never really get down to the nitty-gritty of it.
So NPPD has gone 9 years without a rate increase. From a wholesale power perspective, they might have moved some numbers around, but it's a net zero from an average perspective. So I think that's huge. We spent many years, Dave, you and I, talking about.
We have.
Well, we got to take a rate increase because NPPD is going up 12% or 10% or 8%. Well, we're going on to quite a few years of stable wholesale power cost, and I think that's something to be very proud of and very excited about. Custer is going into its third year of no rate increase, and we're also passing back the PCA again this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2021 numbers. I had a board meeting yesterday, and I forgot to look at the last, because that would have ended in February. It's right around $1.5 million that we gave back to our customers, and I think 2022 will be about the same. So that's public power, and that's what we do.
That's what we do, and
when you not accidentally, when you manage your system the way NPPD has managed the system, which is fantastic, and you end up with margins. You don't keep those margins. You don't pass those margins back to shareholders. You give them back to the customers, or you give them back to the systems to either reinvest in their own system to make things better, or give them back to the customers. And the board wanted to give them back to the customers. So that's where we're at.
Well, I think we can safely say, especially right now in this period of time, there's not many things we can talk about where the cost remains basically the same. That's just not happening with much of anything else right now. So that's a good news story to have. I've been kind of bugged since you were here last time.
Oh, no.
Because I felt very uninformed.
Well, why would I leave you with that?
Well, I didn't know.
Oh.
I did not know that there were electric charging stations up and down interstate for cars at this time. I really didn't know that. And you mentioned to me, well, Dave, they're already there. I didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
It's because you're not looking for them.
Well, that and maybe being a media guy, it should be promoted more that they're there.
It really should be.
Yeah. And
it really should be. You know what would be even a better promotion? Is if you had an electric vehicle.
Yeah. Well, you could give me a ride in yours.
Well, all you need to do is call me up and let me know when.
Or who's giving the rides? Is it Taryn or
April?
April.
Yep.
Okay.
She'd be happy to.
Is she kind of a hot rodder?
Well, the Mustang Mach-E is kind of a hot rodding vehicle.
Yes, it is.
So it creates an opportunity to do that.
To accelerate.
Yep.
But quietly.
Very quietly.
Yeah, sneaky.
Or if you don't want to be quiet, you can turn on the sound effects. They're pretty cool. I don't know how far out they go, though.
Is it for you in the cockpit or for the people outside?
I don't know. Right?
Both exist. I have seen some electric vehicles now. They come with speakers that mount under the rear bumper that play sound on the outside of the car.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know if that one has it or not, but
I read yesterday, and in fact, I was going to mention it yesterday. GM announced this week that the pickups, the electric pickups, the demand is skyrocketing right now.
Yep.
And if you...
I think Ford's in the same boat.
Yeah, Ford's the same. And if you order one now, you might expect to get that next year. That's how high the demand for them. There's thousands of them on order right now, and it's continuing to go up.
Well, we're having the same problem with just diesel and gas.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But anyway, yeah.
But
speaking of that, I'd be remiss in letting people know that the supply chain issue that we have is still there, and so we're getting bunches and bunches of phone calls of people who want to convert from diesel to electric, and the delivery on transformers are such that it's becoming more difficult. We just had an update yesterday at the board meeting from Dustin, who talked about what we thought was an end of March delivery, which happened to be yesterday. Is now July 1st delivery on a couple of truckloads of transformers. So things are getting a little squeaky and pretty tight. So don't be alarmed if you call up and say and ask for new service, and we're to the point where, depending on size, we might not be able to get to it before July.
Okay.
But
we're
doing what we can.
Yeah, I was going to say no fault of your own.
No.
Okay. Well,
it's a whole supply. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Remember when we had the nobody could buy any toilet paper?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. People are holding transformers, and we can't buy any transformers.
The shelves are getting a little bit.
They are thin.
Yeah.
Really, really thin, and.
You put you do what they did with the toilet paper, like one transformer per customer sort of thing.
Well, it's almost to that point from our suppliers.
Yeah.
We'll give you 5 of these, but everybody else gets 5 as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think folks understand that, but if they're thinking about a project like that, they need to talk to you probably.
Now, we've been on this radio show talking about that, so I hope that's not foreign to anybody, but I wanted to make sure that I say it again.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, Rick, I hope we covered everything that you want to talk about today.
Everything is good.
Okay.
Spent more time on nuclear than what I thought I was.
Well, we could have got into that a little further, but I need to get my scientific facts together before we visit.
Yeah. There's a lot of issues there.
I'd be ready for that. Yeah. Both of you do your research. We'll sit down.
Didn't I tell you we were going to talk about nuclear at some point?
Yeah, you did. But I don't want you to bring Mr. Kent, because I know where he's at on it.
Well, yeah, he's a nuclear kind of guy.
Yeah,
I think he spent time on a boat that had a nuclear. Anyway.
Well, that was when I saw one of those bright green turtles on the river down from Brownsville.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Green,
yeah,
not blue.
I thought it was bright green.
He's got other problems then.
Yeah.
Well, I did have a couple cocktails that night.
Were they green?
I don't remember.
Cocktails.
Thanks, Rick.
You bet, thanks.
We'll catch up on some news after these words.
Nebraska State Bank believes in our strong rural communities. We believe in our local ag producers and their capacity for innovation and growth. At Nebraska State Bank, we work hard to support our customers' growth, and that means growing ourselves as well. We offer a variety of banking products to make banking easier, especially during busy times, such as making payments online, signing loan documents digitally, or mobile depositing a check. These are just a few ways we can help simplify your life. Visit nesb.bank or call any of our branches to learn more about how we can make banking easier for you. Nebraska State Bank, member FDIC.
The Secret Garden. Some secrets just can't be kept. Right now, save 15% off anything with Pink, including plants and new inventory. Plus, prepay for your plants now and then pick them up when they arrive in May. Lamentations 3, verse 23. Great is his faithfulness. His mercies begin afresh each morning. Open Friday, 11:30 to 4:30, and Saturday, 8:30 to 4:30. The Secret Garden, 2 1/4 miles west of Myrna on Highway 92 and a half a mile north.
In the morning, you are awakened by the twitter of a little bird.
But now it's Dave and Brent.
I knew there was a reason I got out of bed this morning.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
There's a difference between treating the pain and treating the problem. At Pearson Physical Therapy, we strive to not only reduce your pain, but actually treat the underlying cause so that you remain pain-free, even after you finish physical therapy. If you're frustrated by pain that keeps coming back, Pearson Physical Therapy can give you the tools that will keep you moving pain-free. Call Pearson's in Broken Bow at 308-872-5800 or check us out on the web at pearsonpt.com. Get the treatment you need and the care you deserve at Pearson Physical Therapy.
Ansley Lumber and Supply in Ansley is your go-to destination for all of your building needs. Need new siding? Well, they offer top-of-the-line products from James Hardie and LP Smart Siding. After you get your new siding, take a look at their premium decking from TimberTech or Armadillo. Ansley Lumber and Supply has a great selection of metal for buildings. Don't forget about those shingles. They offer GAF shingles to protect those new buildings. To top it all off, check out their line of Therma-Tru doors to keep the environment outside. Give Ansley Lumber and Supply a call for your next project or stop in downtown Ansley.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News special report. As the pandemic fades and consumers keep spending, employers continue to add jobs. The Labor Department reports another 431,000 positions added last month as fewer people filed for unemployment benefits. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
The unemployment rate dropped down to 3.6%. That is the lowest of the pandemic era, just 0.1% above where the unemployment rate stood in February of 2020.
Wages were up, too. Bankrate's Mark Hamrick says they could counter the Great Resignation.
Average hourly earnings are up 5.6% over the past year. While workers embrace any pay improvement, this is below the pace of inflation. And one effect of this may be to draw more individuals back into the job market.
The Dow is up 99 in early trading after a more than 550-point drop yesterday. CBS News special report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Isaac Lowenkron.
On April Fool's Day, Cleveland Browns tight end David Njoku decided to pull an April Fool's Day prank on Twitter. Njoku initially tweeted that he was demanding a trade, only to tweet moments later, "April Fool's, baby." Many Browns fans, however, were not amused. In what appears to be legitimate news, Major League Baseball announced this morning that this season umpires will explain replay reviews to fans using wireless microphones, such as NFL referees do. In the NBA on Thursday night, the Utah Jazz defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 122-109. The Lakers without LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Utah led the game wire to wire and broke a 5-game losing streak. Rudy Gobert had 25 points and 17 rebounds. DeMar DeRozan scored 50 in the Bulls' overtime win over the Los Angeles Clippers.
Here's your Weatherology Forecast. For today, look for increasing cloud cover. Do pick up a chance for some afternoon showers developing with high temperatures into the upper 50s. Then for tonight, partly cloudy, will drop back to a low of 28. Saturday, abundant sunshine making a return with mid-60s for high temperatures. And into your Sunday, still expecting lots of sunshine. On the windy side, though, high of 60. For the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Carroll.
As a parent, you know kids are amazing and expensive. But with Fabric, protecting your family with term life insurance is surprisingly affordable with a personalized policy for your family starting at less than $1 a day. It's quick, easy, all online, and you could be approved instantly, plus cancel anytime. Secure your family's financial future today at meetfabric.com/future. That's MEET fabric.com/future. Fabric Insurance Agency policies issued by Vantis Life, not available in New York and Montana. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions.
Honda is calling all explorers to check out the Pioneer 1000 side-by-side lineup. Each model sports a best-in-class 999cc engine, Honda's exclusive automatic dual-clutch transmission, plus a massive towing capacity, stellar handling, and legendary build quality. Start your adventure at pioneer.honda.com and discover which model is right for you. For your safety, read the owner's manual, wear protection, always wear a seatbelt, and keep side nets and doors closed. Side-by-sides are for drivers 16 years of age and older.
Currently 33. It was 29 at 8. It's now 33 here at 9 under a mostly cloudy sky. Winds right now are not a big factor. They are calm. Barometric pressure bouncing around a little bit this morning. Now at 29.86, was at 87 at 8, but 86 before that. So it's not moving much at all, I guess, when I look at it more carefully. Humidity at 69%. High yesterday, 53, an overnight low of 18. Nothing to talk about in the rain gauge on this first day of April. Ended up March with 37 hundredths precipitation. And that's a look at the weather. Quick note, we did receive a text message from the folks with the Custer County Ag Society, and they're going to reschedule. Had a conflict here today, so we'll not have them in here this morning as planned, but we'll get them on the air just as soon as we possibly can.
A message from Lieutenant Governor Mike Foley.
As your Lieutenant Governor, it's been an honor to fight for the values we care about. Charles W. Herbster is the candidate I trust.
Charles W. Herbster, a fifth-generation farmer and rancher.
Charles is solidly pro-life, is a man of faith and conviction. Charles is also a man of character and accomplishment, and he's willing to stand up and defend our values and defend our freedoms. Charles W. Herbster is the candidate I trust to take Nebraska to the next level.
Mike Foley is proud to endorse Charles W. Herbster for governor.
Charles W. Herbster is the candidate who will stand strong for our conservative principles. Charles is the conservative we need to lead our great state. I've been following this year's race for governor very closely. Charles W. Herbster is the best choice for Nebraska.
Paid for by Herbster for Nebraska.
9:14. Dave Burney with you, along with Jeremy Scheib. We've brought the sales team into the studio because we have some questions.
Yeah, you have some questions.
Now,
I'm
don't
not
be
aware
pulling
of
the
what
Brent on me.
question-
You're starting to sound like Brent.
I've not been informed of any questions that are going to be asked. I will observe.
When we work together on the breakfast show, we are we.
Would Brent agree on that?
No, he never does. And here's the other.
He never does. Brent lives on an island.
Yes.
He does live. He goes there a lot,
He
doesn't
stays
he?
there most of the show. And I was so disappointed, by the way, speaking of Brent. I thought Brent and Shelley, or at least Brent would be over. We're painting upstairs. He had the day off, and I thought that he would show up and help us paint yesterday. Not to be seen. Nowhere to be seen.
You thought he took the day off and was going to help you paint?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's a neighbor, and I thought the neighbor would come over and chip in. The only thing I did mention to my wife last night is I think if he did help us paint, we'd have to go buy a taller ladder.
Yeah. You were painting ceilings, weren't you?
Yeah. I don't think he could reach the ceiling. With a regular
an
ladder.
extendable
Poor guy.
pole.
We just still pick on him when he's not even himself.
Hey, I had a lady question. That
I'm really going to an island with Brent. What kind of lady question do we ask?
we have a lady question.
We.
Jeremy and I. No, I'm just wondering. I read an article because there's proms happening, and Christy, you've been working in the prom dress business.
Yeah, it's been fun.
How's that been going?
It was awesome. Last day is going to be Saturday. We're wrapping it up. We're going to be still doing, they can still come in and shop from 10 to 1, but then the other that haven't sold, we're asking to come pick them back up. But we probably sold over 60. I think Kelly had counted up over 60 between dresses and shoes. Not a lot of shoes, but it went well. It was so fun. I loved it. I'm ready to do it again next year.
Are you? Good.
Yes.
I was wondering how it was going, and that's a great idea. It's been done other places, but to have you guys bring it here is pretty neat.
We had people from Kearney, Amherst, Elba.
That's so cool.
It's just, and last Wednesday, there was a mom who come in with her daughter. Her daughter actually goes to Wyoming to a prom, she'll be going to. But, she was back with her mom at this time, but she bought a dress and is going to Wyoming. So it's like, very cool.
Yeah, good. Well, it centers right on the question that Jeremy and I have.
And what is
today.
that?
Well, this article I read said that in some cases, many of the ladies, the prom dress was as important to them as their wedding dress. And I just wondered how you guys felt about that. Now, you went to prom, didn't you, Jeremy?
Yeah.
That picture that you have back there is when you went to prom with Nicole? Is that?
I'm pretty sure I'm in a sweatshirt in that picture.
Oh, you should have dressed up more.
You're right. Yep, that was my prom picture. I can't believe I attended prom in a sweatshirt.
Oh, gosh. So what do you think? I mean, is it that big of a deal? Is prom that big of a deal to young ladies?
I mean, not that big
I
of
feel
a
it could be to
deal.
some, but
Well, yeah.
it's become kind of where some make it as big as where you get your hair done, your nails done, and all the dresses are unbelievable. That
They
you
really
could
are.
Spend.
I guess it does. It's an individual thing. I mean, it's fun
Now,
to
don't
get
come
all
at me
dressed up.
with, pitchforks and things like that for this statement. But I think maybe part of that could be that, in a way, in some ways, prom is almost kind of seen as a competition in ways. And who can have the bigger, flashier, more special dress. Whereas a wedding, like, that's important to you because it's your day and it's all about you and your husband or wife. And now, the prom is kind of about everybody. So you kind of got to have something that stands out against the crowd, maybe. I don't know.
Comments?
I mean,
you can see it, yeah. but
probably so. I mean,
in smaller schools, it's to me, in my opinion, I mean, you have 4 years. Sometimes you're buying dresses, so I think it's crazy to make such a production. But
See, even Class C schools where I come from, you go to prom your junior and senior year, so you only do prom 2 years.
Yeah, that's how it was where I grew up. So I only went twice.
And I would have been perfectly fine to not go to prom, personally.
Well,
No, I loved prom.
You liked it?
I would do adult prom. I love to get dressed up.
You love to dance, though. I look like a giraffe when I dance.
But I don't have to dance. I like to just get dressed up. I can get dressed up and stand there too. I mean, that'd still be fun.
I hate suits. I hate suits.
I don't know. There's something about getting dressed up that does make you feel different. I mean, I think that's why some people like to dress up. It changes their attitude.
My girls used to have they had heard it, but dress well, test well. So on.
Oh my goodness.
In your family, I can see that.
Like a wedding dress to her test day.
Nope, she just liked to feel good. She dressed up and made her feel better.
Well, if it works.
It really does, actually. If you feel bad,
Now,
you
Ellie,
get all dressed
her dress
nice.
well, feel well is sweatpants and sweatshirt.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, we saw a few pictures. I was out walking on Saturday and walked by some folks that were out taking pictures in the driveway, and the young lady just looked gorgeous, and the guy looked real nice in his tuxedo, and they were having a great time. And then downtown, the park was actually quite colorful with all the dresses and different things, and they were over at the courthouse taking pictures there. And it's good to see if they enjoy it. It's great. I think the amount of money spent is a little crazy, but.
Well, and, it's also not completely necessary, which has been so great about their shop. I mean, they had dresses there were $60, and, I mean, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's, in high school, this is really the first time you've ever, like, at least in my instance, ever really got dressed up. Like, I'd never gotten that dolled up. I'd never had my hair done before. I'd never gotten my nails done.
Yeah.
So it was just, all of that was just so new and special, too.
I had a good experience. We only got to go to one prom, but the prom that Joan and I went to was our junior prom, and my mom was kind of a jokester, and she was working at the floral shop, and Joan wanted one of those that you put on your wrist rather than pin on, and so Mom made me a real nice one for the wrist, but she also made one that was like all welded and and she put a little bug on it, and it looked really like it was kind of rotten. And I think Joan's folks wondered what she was doing with me anyway.
Then you pull out that piece of work.
I brought in the box, and her mom was there, and they opened it up, and they go, "Oh, that's really nice, Dave." And they were gonna. I think she was actually going to put it on, wow. And I know they were just like freaking out. And I had the good one out by the back door, and I went and got it and brought it in, and we had a chuckle over that. But
was that prom on April 1st? So on April Fool's Day?
No, proms were much later. They just get earlier and earlier. So.
Yeah, when where I came from, it's right before graduation.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like right for the end of the year.
Who would have thought you'd be having proms in March back? I mean, we actually went swimming at Sherman Lake the next day,
wow.
It happened to be a little bit warmer than usual, but
pretty soon they'll have them in February.
Might be. Everything seems to start sooner. Speaking of that, one of the reasons that Jeremy and I brought you in is to talk about senior salutes, because that's what you girls are working on right now, I think, out there offering for businesses to sponsor our salutes.
Yep.
And I thought maybe we would give you some time today to invite anybody that you maybe missed or haven't contacted if they want to sponsor a particular student to get a hold of you, right?
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, we've been all over the place, hitting all the different surrounding towns, and which is so fun. Because, you get a sense sometimes of who these kids are when you go in and chat with people. But yeah, we're trying to get those sponsors so that each one of our goal is, of course, to have a sponsor for each one of them. And we'll keep rolling until we do. But it's fun. It's their time to be honored.
Yeah.
And, we set a schedule so that people can always, we'll have that posted at some point so they know what school we're doing and when, but it's a great time to tune in and hear what everybody wants to do.
Yeah, so if the girls happen to miss you, don't be shy about calling, because we want everybody to get in on the sponsorships if they want to.
Especially if they have a specific student.
Yeah. So, Jeremy and I were wondering if you would remember, back to the prom dresses, what color, Christy, your first prom dress was. What color was it?
My first, I could go through the whole 4 years, Dave.
Oh, well, go ahead.
He's like, let's hear it, Christy.
So, my first one was pink, and I borrowed it from,
No
one that
way. No way. I don't believe it.
I
don't believe
one
that Christy
pink
Wells's first dress was pink.
Then...
Was it full length?
Yes, all of mine were. Well, no, the senior one wasn't. But then the next year was when I got treated to a new dress. So we went to North Platte, was where the dress shop was that year. And my friend and I were in the same class, but we both got new dresses that year as sophomores. But as juniors, we just switched dresses. So I wore hers and she wore mine.
Oh, nice. That's a good idea.
I know. I'm like, okay, that would be unheard of today.
Probably.
They would not just switch dresses
I'd
and
so
wear
do
the
it.
same one next year. But then as a senior, I had someone make, Jeremy will laugh, but so my senior year, I had someone make it because I designed it kind of. So it had bows on the sleeves and it was like T-length, like, you know, like the scallops
It
with
had
bows.
bows on the sleeves.
And it was blue sparkly.
Oh my goodness!
It was.
And you designed
pictures
it.
in once too.
I wanted bows on the sleeves. I love bows.
Part of the 0.5% of people that design their own prom dress, because the tens of thousands that exist just aren't good enough.
Well, nice to be creative, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one that I bought was red with white hearts all over it. I just loved it.
Oh my goodness! You should see her face
So
right now.
happy.
She
So happy.
can't believe she's being gifted radio time to talk about her prom dresses.
She is so happy.
Well, Shannon, I should have probably started with you first.
Can you top that, Shannon?
I don't think that I can. I went my junior year. It was like a periwinkle type color. And it was just solid, and it was long. It was so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And then my senior year, it was like a mint green, and it was actually the dress. So my son Zane, his dad, so his mother's wedding dress that she had gotten married to his dad.
Wow.
So, but it was mint green. It was really flowy and pretty, you know, and she was all like hippie style, and so it fit right into what I liked. And yeah, that's what I wore, was her wedding dress.
I was hoping you were going to say that you got the silk together yourself from silkworms at the beginning of their lives, and you gathered all of the silk, dyed the silk, and then made the dress from scratch.
Probably fed them bling, so that when they made the silk,
I worked on it all 4 years.
Probably started those little devils when you were about a fifth grader or so.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, here's a question then for you, Mr. Shipe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what? I assume you went to prom with Nicole both all the years, or did you go with another girl?
We were only together for senior year prom.
All right. So, do you remember what color the dress was?
Not off the top of my head.
I bet she does.
Christy's going, oh my God, you don't remember?
I'll be honest, and my wife would probably agree with me on this. She probably barely remembers as well. It's just not, we all have our things. If you guys know my wife.
Yeah, I can understand. She's a...
Not, when we probably stepped on the dance floor 2 times.
Oh,
we were
really?
just not dancers.
Well, that's all right. You don't have to dance. You can smooch over in the corner. Oh, maybe they wouldn't allow that.
Do you know that Christy's brought all of her pictures in?
For prom?
Each one of them were with Mark, and it was really funny to see Mark change
Did he get
over
taller?
the years.
No, he stopped growing.
No, his hair
About that
changed
time.
quite a bit throughout the years.
Different hairstyles.
Didn't he have like a mullet or something? One of them?
No,
Or...
but he used to get a perm.
Oh, that's what it was. Because it was curly. His hair was all curly.
Brent and him would get along
Yeah.
fine.
Nice. Did you customize that too?
His mom would give him perms.
Oh.
Mark. Well, Jones, it wasn't a dress. It was, what do you call them when it's legs, but they're big, real big?
Pantsuit? Like
It was kind of, and her mom made it.
Really?
And it was kind of unusual at that point because everybody wore long dresses, but hers were like big leg.
Kind of almost looks like a dress, I'm sure, when you're wearing it.
Yeah, it was pretty
I
nice.
would love to see pictures of that.
Well, I remember I've got some shoes from the
And what color
Goodwill
was it?
store. It was kind of like a blue,
Yeah, I'm very impressed that you know all the details.
kind of a.
I know. I'm so proud of you.
Wait until you confirm it. It's burgundy.
No, wait, maybe it was polka dotted. No, it was a kind of a turquoise blue, as I remember. Yeah.
Oh, I want to see pictures of that.
Well, I got some
Joan,
shoes from the
find
Goodwill
pictures.
store for prom, and they were black and white. What do you call them?
Like the
spats, kind of look like spat shoes.
I don't know what that
I
is.
don't know what that is.
What is that?
That's when the Goodwill was underneath the Security State Bank. Went down there and found some shoes. Yeah, but yeah, I do remember that. And then I remember the night very well because it didn't go anything like planned. I got in trouble that night. That's another whole story.
You were planning to not get in trouble, and you got in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see
It's usually
this
how it
happening.
goes.
I mean,
If you're planning to get in trouble, that's
was
even
not
worse.
I wasn't planning on getting in trouble. They had the movie after the prom, and it was West Side Story.
oh my goodness, I love that movie.
I just thought that was the worst pick for high school kids to watch West Side Story after prom, but
Yeah,
that's
I guess
what it
I
was.
don't know. I love that movie.
You do?
Yes, I'm so sad I didn't see the new one in the theaters.
Yeah. Well, you missed it, I think.
I guess I did.
So, anything else?
Well, have you mentioned it's Kristen's birthday?
No, I didn't know.
Kristen's birthday today.
I didn't know
On
that.
April 1st, yeah.
Yes.
April Fool's Day.
Should we go get her? Go get her. She won't listen to us.
Oh, boy.
I mean, she can already hear us.
Yeah, I thought maybe we were coming in
And she's
to
listening on the radio.
say happy birthday.
Hey, walked away from the mic. She doesn't like this room.
I know.
It's the room that has the most microphones in it.
Okay, Kristen, I don't want to freak you out, but you sit in this chair.
Go ahead.
There
just
you go.
don't.
Sit.
You don't have to push any buttons.
Yeah, just sit down.
There you go. Have a seat. It's just a chair. You know how to
She
sit in a
looks so
chair.
cute in her green on her
There you
birthday.
go.
Okay.
Your green looks so pretty on you. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And just so you know, Kristen was not a prom goer, so she has no prom story.
Does not want no input.
No prom stories.
No.
Thank you. What did you do when other people went to prom? Did you work on a hot rod or?
I worked that night.
Oh gosh.
You did?
Yep.
I mean, you're so crafty. You and your daughters are so crafty, too. I would have thought you would have.
Where did you work?
My senior year, I worked both Pizza Hut and it was Country General at the time.
Oh, Country General, yeah. Did you work there during spring when they sell chickens?
Yes.
Very busy time.
Yes.
Chicken time.
It's your birthday today.
Yes.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thrilled to be here.
Very much so.
She's come a long way.
Okay, bye.
I guess she's leaving.
We haven't even sang to
Make
you
sure
yet.
to turn the doorknob when you go. Don't just dive through the window.
We don't want you getting cut up on your birthday.
Perfect.
You want us to sing happy birthday or not?
No, thank you.
Let's
Okay.
just play a fun song. Can we play what should we play?
Play a fun song. Slam. I don't care what it is.
Well, at least we get her in here now. I mean, that's progress.
First time she's ever
Small
sat in a
steps. It's been 5 years. She sat in the chair.
Well, you know.
What do you think Kristen would like for her birthday?
I don't even know what music. I don't even know her
She
favorites.
listens to Casey and I all the
she
time,
listens
so
to the
I'm
country
guessing
station.
that something country.
How about Tim McGraw in My Next 30 Years? That's a good one.
Oh, well,
wow.
Chrissy just came right up with that. I felt like you were thinking on that.
Well,
it did just come to me. I like that song.
Oh.
I'm glad that, well, at least you didn't go with Garth Brooks this time.
I know. I like a variety.
There it is. All right, this is for Kristen on her birthday, if that file will open. Come on. There we go. Uh-oh.
Oh, you got too click happy.
Now you
What
made a mess
happened?
of it. It's got the.
Oh, wow, that was weird, wasn't it? The screen went white.
Oh.
It's
Did
one
I
of those
get
things that
click
just
happy?
happens to you, so I'm not sure if it was.
Operator error.
Okay. Thanks for coming in, ladies.
Yeah.
Jeremy, thanks for your help last couple days.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to getting Brent back after he and Shelley finish up our upstairs hallway.
Oh, I'm
So you got a lot of work
thrilled.
today then if he didn't show up yesterday.
Yeah,
for
they're
work.
way behind. This is for Kristen on her birthday today.